What's up, everyone? This is your host, Tony Smith. Another episode on the Man Down podcast. Again, the Man Down podcast is here to create a positive environment just for men to cultivate that conversation and to, one, build better men, but open up that vulnerability for others and our families as well. I have the honor and privilege on welcoming our guest, Naval Officer class of 2022. He's an IP naval officer, so that's information. Is it what is it? Information
Professional.
professional. All right, he's
Yeah. It's pretty much IT,
IT.
but
Got you, got
all
you.
information professional.
Even though
Yeah.
he's a Naval Academy grad, right? I'm a West Point grad. We found each other online and felt really inspired by his page, so wanted to get him on the podcast. He's in Naples, Italy right now, just crushing it. So he played football at the academy, and now he's like a hybrid athlete doing like 50-mile runs and all that jazz. But James, welcome to the cast, man. It's good to have you here.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. It's a beautiful opportunity. I'm super excited. I'm pumped. I think I'm more excited than you. And it's Juneteenth, brother.
Hey,
So
happy Juneteenth. We made it. It's good to have another man of
happy
color on
Juneteenth.
here, you know what I'm saying? No, it's been a blessing. I think it's been very
Absolutely.
hard. I think recently I had a good conversation with Noah, and it was just about just doing things that you love. And I think this is the one thing that I love doing is having conversation, meeting new people from different walks of life, and kind of building that connection and having that conversation. So thank you for
Mhm.
being here, and thank you for your time. I know you're a busy guy.
Well, I'll start with the full
Yeah. All
backstory.
right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, and every time I bring up I'm from Mobile, Alabama, I gotta tell people that the origin of Mardi Gras was in Mobile,
Oh, okay.
Alabama. So it's a huge tradition in my family. You know, we had the Mardi Gras courts, went to the parades. If you haven't been to Mardi Gras in Mobile, you need to go. You need to
I have
check
to
it
check
out.
that out.
So born and raised there. I got recruited for football while I was at the Faith Academy. That was the high school that I went to. I was recruited by the Air Force, Army, West Point, few Ivy League schools and stuff. But the way that the Naval Academy was showing love, it was a no-brainer. So decided to attend the United States Naval Academy. Moved there and attended there when I was 17. Went through everything, and overall, man, the Academy was a very unique experience, I must say.
Sure is.
A lot of
A
ups,
lot of
a lot of
downs.
downs, but a lot. But now I think about it all the time. Like, I do not regret my decision. I think I made a great decision going to that school. I didn't really realize how big of an opportunity it was to go to like the Naval Academy or any academy. Very prestigious university. You're around like-minded individuals that want to improve. But overall, it's tough, man. As you know,
Yeah,
it's super
absolutely.
tough. You got to balance academics. You got to balance your sport, right? A lot of people play sports. Majority of people play sports, and then you're a military member, so you have watches and you got to put on your uniform and do military inspections. So it was very tough and it sucked, but
Sure
I'm
did.
so happy I did it because right, because now I'm a stronger individual. I've had that experience, so I was able to grow. But while at the academy, I studied cyber operations, so I got my bachelor's of science in that. And while I was there, I also interned at Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab doing like Blue Force things. And for commissioning, I was initially supposed to be a surface warfare
Okay.
officer. So like I picked my ship and everything. We have this special ceremony called ship selection. Went up there and I picked the Mobile Bay, close
Yeah,
to home,
exactly.
damn the torpedoes. I'm from Mobile.
Yeah.
So, everything was smooth. Then the next day they was like, due to some things that you got going on, medical disqualifications, they was like, you need to go either IP, crypto, or me talk. So I ended up picking
Okay.
IP. And shortly after graduating from the academy, I was able to be like a grad assistant or
I did the same
TAD
thing. Yeah.
with the Naval Academy football team. So that was
Yeah.
okay, cool, man. That's a wonderful experience, being
Yeah.
commissioned,
Just chilling.
new ensign, junior
Just
officer.
chilling. Getting
Yeah,
paid.
you with your first love, you with
Yeah.
football, making good money, right?
Absolutely.
Around the things
Yep.
that you love. So absolutely, man. That was a great experience. I was more so in the recruiting department, but I helped handle logistics, and also I was there involved with the practicing of the team, traveling with them and everything. So that was a one of a kind experience.
I love that.
Moved on from there to go to my actual training for to be an IP officer. It was called IWITSE. It was in Virginia Beach. Stayed there for about 6 or 7 months, and then went to Naples, Italy. I'm still here. It'll be 2 years in August. So I'm looking to PCS out of here, go to my next command around August, September, for what's next. And when I got here, I was kind of like coming off the hype of finally being done with the
Yep.
academy. I didn't have football anymore, right? I had more time for
Hmm.
myself. So I kind of let myself go a little bit. When I was playing football, I was like, I probably averaged like 225,
Yeah.
230 pounds. And that was my excuse to be big, right?
Exactly.
I'm a
Yeah. Big,
fullback. Like I'm,
big
I'm
back.
hitting
Love
people.
the.
I need to be
Hey, love
big.
food.
Yeah, like these linebackers are big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my excuse. And I kept that weight a little bit after graduation, probably for about a year and a half, and kind of eating what I want. And when you're at the academy, you're running
Running
around, going to
everywhere.
classes, playing football, super
Yep.
active. And man, I ended up getting to like 240 not playing football. So I,
Sheesh.
I didn't have that
Whoa.
excuse anymore. I wasn't playing
Well,
football.
big back.
So yeah, it was time. So hey, Mr. Big
Mr.
Back, that was me.
Love that, man.
Yeah. So I was like, man, it's time for a change. It's time to lock in. So what I started was I did 75
Okay.
hard. And that was like the start right there. 75 hard, if you
Yeah. Can
don't
you
know,
explain
it
it?
pretty
Yeah.
much encompasses yeah, so 2 workouts a day. Each of the workouts have to be at least 45 minutes, and one of those workouts has to be
Yeah.
outside. No drinking at all. You have to stick to a specific diet with no cheat codes. You're supposed to read 10 pages of a non-fictional book every day, one progress picture every day, and 1 gallon of water every
Yeah.
day. And um, what it taught me doing that was
Hmm.
discipline, and it also taught me a lot about myself. So even though through those 75 days, I lost like 30,
Oof,
35
that's rough.
pounds, um, like, right. And like I mentioned before, one of those workouts has to be
Yep.
outside. And there ain't too many things that you can
That's
do
what I'm saying.
outside when it comes
Like
to
for you
working
going
out.
like I gotta
Right.
run. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I started off with baby steps. I started off walking. Here in Italy, it's very hilly. So, the walking was rigorous.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
sweet. So going up and down hills and everything. And I think I did that for about 3 or 4 weeks. And I was like, you know what? Let's start running a little
Okay.
bit. So I did a mile, and then I did 2 miles. And next thing you know, since I had to go outside and do a
You're
workout every
running up.
day, I just continuously, right. It was like baby steps. And the thing is, like, I didn't even notice that wasn't my intention. It just like when I started off, things got so much easier, and I love improving. I was like, okay, let's try this, let's try that. I want to say 60 days in, I was running about 7 to 8 miles. I'm like, oh,
Jeez.
who would have thought? Because right when I did plebe summer, I was that guy falling out of the
Oh
reg
really?
runs, man. We had reg
Yeah.
runs like every
I
Friday.
hated
That was
running
me.
though. It's
I was the one
fighting.
holding my squad back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reg runs were like 5 miles. I fell out at like mile three. I said,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
done.
nah,
I'm
that's
done,
not
bro.
for me. So yeah. And I was more active. I was lighter then. When I got to the academy, I was like 210. I was in really good
Mm,
shape because plebe summer, as you
yeah.
know, like boot camp, it
Running
gets
all
you in
the time.
the best shape. Really, really good shape. Yeah, exactly. And so, I was super proud of myself for getting up to 7, 8 miles. I'm looking good, which helped with my confidence and everything. And then we're going towards the end of 75 hard. I'm looking back, I'm reflecting about how much I improved, especially with reading the books, man. I read a ton of great books with David Goggins, a lot of financial readiness
Hmm.
books, a lot of self improvement, just kind of reflecting on my childhood and fixing all my weaknesses and everything. So it was a beautiful experience. And we're getting to, you know, day 75, we're in and up. I'm like, okay, man, we got to end this thing with a
Yeah.
bang. So let's do a half marathon. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Half marathon, just because. What?
Once more, once more, once more.
I can teach you all the signs of love. I'm singing now. Let's see if I'm singing at mile 30. Hello.
On that bed, feel 200,000, put you on. Money on the head, I put them on T-zones. I've been like the largest since I was a teen, homes. Let the black skull in it, I don't believe it.
Why not? What's the worst that can happen? You know, this is day
Yeah,
75.
you've already been
I look good. I feel
half
good.
marathon.
Let's push these limits, yeah? Let's run it. And bro, I did it. I did it. And like I was just man, super shocked and I was proud of myself. Looking back, slimmer, more conditioned, skin clearing up, right? Because I did a Mediterranean diet, so I stopped with the ultra processed foods, and I started looking at the foods that actually give you
Yeah,
energy and help you.
and
And
there's good food out there in like Italy and stuff as well. Like they have great natural food.
yeah, it's definitely easier. It's definitely easier. It's pros and cons. In America, there's way more alternatives to the things that you like, but it's a little bit more expensive. However, here it's just like whole food, so it's hard to get like protein snacks. It's hard to get like keto friendly stuff. So it's pros and cons, but everything out here, like none of the food is trying to kill
Yeah,
you. Right? There's no blue 89, there's no yellow
yeah,
66. There ain't, you know what I'm
red.
saying?
Yeah,
It's pure
460.
stuff.
Yeah, all the numbers.
Yeah.
Good man, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So and I did a half marathon and I was like, well, I made it this far. There's this quote. I'm not sure who came up with the quote that was like, well, we didn't come this far just to get this
Yeah, we didn't
far.
come this
So I
far
was
to
like,
just get
well,
this far. It's like a song or something. Yeah,
right. I was like, man, let's make it official. Let's put it in the books because that half marathon was unofficial. I ran that with a friend. So I was like, in 1 month, I'm going to do a full marathon. And I did exactly that. I trained for 1 month and I said the goal is because I knew I was going to complete it because I did a half marathon. My
yeah,
confidence is all the
you're
way
already
up.
there.
And I was like, I'm going to
You had
finish
an
this.
itch.
Right. I'm going to finish this full marathon. Yeah. And I said, let's up the ante a little bit. So let's do it sub 4. Like, let's finish it before 4 hours.
Dang.
And so that was a good goal. Like it was like the sweet middle. It was very motivating, it was very challenging, but it wasn't too unrealistic.
Yeah,
And so did the training, signed up for a full marathon in Zermatt, Switzerland. And one thing about Naples, it's very hilly. Certain areas, the air quality is
hmm,
horrific. You know when you pull out your weather app and it kind of gives you like the air
yeah.
quality, it have like green and sometimes you'll see
Based on like,
yellow.
hey, these conditions in the air are like suitable or not suitable.
Right. In certain parts of Naples, I'm gonna say majority of the parts, it's red.
Really,
It's red year round,
fighting for your life.
24/7. Yeah. Yes. And the reason I brought that up because I did all my training here outside in
Hmm.
Naples. So when I went to Switzerland, man, Switzerland is super, super expensive, by the
Okay.
way. Most beautiful country I've ever been to. Super, super expensive, and it makes sense because it's super clean, it's beautiful, it's a great experience. However, the air quality was
Yeah.
amazing. And the route was structured so there was an intentional hill there was an intentional hill there. It wasn't cobblestone everywhere, so the marathon was challenging, but like I already put in the work, I already did the training, so overall it was like this is exactly what I came
Yeah.
for. And I ended up finishing the full marathon in like 3:56, 3 hours and 56 minutes.
That's
So
awesome, man.
um completed that, chilled out for a little bit, and I just maintained a healthy
Yeah.
lifestyle. And that's what also 75 Hard did for me. It helped reprogram me.
Hmm.
So stayed away from ultra processed
Yeah.
foods. Working out 2 times a day was the norm for
Yeah.
me.
So you just
So even though I was done with
kept
75
it moving
Hard,
forward.
right,
For sure.
4 times out of the week, I'm still working out 2 times a day.
Yeah, man.
And kind of enjoyed myself a little bit for the second half of the year, still lifting weights and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna lock back in, start to 2025. And that's exactly what I did. And my goal is, okay, I'm gonna do something super challenging. I'm gonna do something that scares me every single year.
Okay. I like that.
Last year, was a full marathon. And I was like, well, I can't do a marathon again. I already did it. So we got to up the
Up the
ante a little
ante.
bit
Yeah.
more. And I was like, well, I'm going to do 50 miler. I think that's a good medium. Do a 50
You
miler.
just did one. Yeah.
And right, I just completed it. But going back into January, I'm not going to lie, man, I got super anxious because I had a lot on my plate and I was spreading myself thin. I was going through qualifications at work, life events. I went back to school. I was taking 12
Okay.
credits at Eastern New Mexico, getting my CompTIA certs, Net Plus, Sec Plus, A Plus. Started my real entrepreneur career with TikTok and Instagram, making
Yep.
videos, coaching people on the side. So I was super, super stressed because I was like, I'm trying to balance all these things, and I'm kind of back at square one when it comes to running. Like I can run a couple miles, but I'm not marathon ready
Yeah.
conditioned. And the only thing that I had in mind was the 50 miler.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like,
You just like
well, you know,
tunneled in on there.
it, yeah, that's all I had in mind. And it caused so much anxiety because that's all I was thinking
Hmm.
about. So luckily, I don't even know how it happened, but I did like little milestones in between. So I did a half marathon in I think February or March,
Okay.
and that was here in Naples, Italy. And the goal for that was a sub 145. Got that. I did in 144. And a month after that, I did another full marathon that was in Brussels, Belgium for the European Running Championship. The goal was 330, ended up doing 335.
Still good.
Was a little disappointed,
I
but
mean, you just did
right.
a
I was
half
like,
marathon and then a full marathon within a month. So I like wanna end this, but I kind of want to hear some things from you. Like what advice you have for just men, just people in general that are kind of struggling, whether it be like they're in their dark place, like in isolation. I know people that have went through like suicide and things of that nature. I'm going to up to West Point next week for a funeral. One of my classmates took his life. What's like a message you have for people,
mm,
not just like
sorry
no,
for your
it's
loss,
okay, brother.
brother.
Not just like men, but just people out there in general that are struggling to find their way or find like their like identity, especially in this like day and age with social media and stuff. Like what's some advice you have
Mhm.
for one men that look like us, right? One, and then just like men in
Mhm.
general to kind of keep moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, man, I'm sorry for your
It's all
loss. And I'm kind of like in a similar boat here, graduating from academy, three or four guys, one like a class above me, no, one, two classes above me, one, another class above me. They also took their
good.
lives
I'm sorry to hear
due
that,
to,
man.
a lot of mental things that they had going on. And a lot of friends that I was supposed to commission with, they couldn't even commission because they had a lot of things going on mentally. So and they were all minorities,
Yeah, that's big.
which was
It's
crazy.
sad.
All of
Yeah,
them.
no.
All of them are
Most of
minorities.
my people that my soldiers that have taken their life, and even my mentor, whose 6 year anniversary tomorrow was my birthday, but he took his life on my birthday. He was a minority as well, so it's like it's obviously like you talked about the
And
culture, man. Like it's something that we need to talk about.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Um First off, I would say I would kind of go from my
Yeah.
perspective for like what I needed to hear. I'll start off with that. Me, I was raised as a only child. I have no
Hmm.
siblings, and so that kind of pushed me to be more introverted. And I kind of like depended on myself. It was only me. Like I had my mom and a loving family and everything, but at the end of the day, it was just
Yeah.
me. So I kind of had a habit of not depending on
Yeah.
people, and definitely more so introverted. But when I went to the academy, I had roommates, right? And then being on the football team, I'm around these guys all the time. And it made me realize like we're not supposed to be doing this life thing
Nope.
alone at all.
Absolutely not.
All right, I'm a religious person. I'm a
Yeah.
Christian, and I believe that. God wants us to connect
Yeah.
together,
Two is
right?
better than
Embrace each
one. It
other,
says it. Says in the Bible, two.
build
Yep.
each other
Two is
up.
better than one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I would say learn to depend on
Hmm.
others and find a good group. Find people that you envy. Because one thing I realized, the older I get, I realize like, damn, my mom was right. Who you hang around is who you gonna be
Facts.
every single day.
Facts.
So you see a certain group with the energy that you crave. You see a certain group with the success. Like you need to be around that group. You need to be begging to be around
Hey
that
man,
group.
let me hang out with y'all, man.
Yeah, yeah. You if you're a slow person and you hang with fast people, you're gonna get faster.
True.
Like when I started lifting weights, I lifted with the heaviest
Yep.
guys, the strongest guys. I got stronger. And it's the same exact thing. Like learn to depend on others, find a good group, build a bond, build friendship. And, with being a man, we can have a lot of pride. We don't like to feel vulnerable. And that's what your corner is for. That's what your village is for. So when you do have problems, like when you do need to vent, you can have that. You can text your buddy, you can FaceTime your buddy. It's completely okay for you to depend on somebody else. Like that's what they're for. If they're a true friend, if they're a true brother, if they're a true
Yep.
sister, you should be able to depend on
I
them.
love that.
Like I have like one of my best friends, we traveled to Amalfi and
Yeah, you told me
Mykonos
about
maybe
that.
a week and a half
Lit.
ago. It was it was such a refresher having him there. And it's a true friend. He's a true friend because he's also in the military and he came out here to see me. And I haven't seen him since July of 2023. So almost
Wow.
two
But y'all
years.
picked up right where you left
And
off.
just having him here, right, picked up exactly where we left off. Like we talked about
Good.
everything and just having him to talk to just took so much weight off my shoulders, and he felt the same. Venting to me about what he had
Good
going
man.
on and how he
That's
felt
good.
about this and that. Yeah, and also I would say therapy. Therapy. It's hard to take that first step, getting into that room and signing up and going through all the rigmarole, but it's so worth it because they're trained
Sure.
professionals. They are trained. They're there to analyze you and figure out what's wrong. Like majority of people are really, really good at their
Yeah.
job. And especially if you're in the military, one thing about the military is like they're not gonna shout out information. They're not gonna advertise all the information, but I assure
It's
you
there.
there are several resources as a military member for you to get some help to talk, whether that's the
Yep.
chaplain, whether that's going to behavioral
Yep.
health, whether that's going to like the fleet and family centers. I promise you, they even have online
Yep.
stuff. They have
And
online
try care.
people that you can talk
Yep.
to. A lot of people, right? A lot of third parties will even use
Yep.
TRICARE, and it'll be
That's what
free.
I have. Yeah,
So
that's what I have.
just make that first step.
Good man.
Yeah. So just make that first step to talk to somebody.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. And I think what you hit on, right, that therapy aspect is so important. I think about a year ago, I took like a really big step going to like outpatient, and it saved my life. When my BHO, my behavioral health officer, I kind of took, I
That's
took a
amazing.
risk, man. I said, hey, you know what? I was at the point where I lost everything. I lost a beautiful relationship. I put on like 30 plus pounds. I was in a job that I didn't really like as much. I was down bad, and I literally was like would look myself in the mirror with like
Mhm.
disgust. Like I was literally disgusted with myself. I hated myself because I was like, man, like I turned into this person and version of myself that I really didn't recognize. Like my character was kind of compromised and
Mhm.
things of that nature. But I started, I had this amazing therapist, Serenity. Her name's Serenity, African American like female, and it was like it changed me
It's a beautiful name
from
to
the
be a
inside
therapist.
out, man, and it changed my passion to doing this, man. That's why I like doing this, and I'm gonna go to school to be, a therapist, hopefully one day, God willing, and give that representation
That's amazing.
to us, like black men, to minorities, because it's a conversation that needs to be had, especially
Yeah,
for the youth, especially for the
for
kids out there,
sure.
man. But I do appreciate you for coming on. Everybody, please, I'm gonna attach in the link or in the bio uh, about James. Slabber is what he goes by on TikTok. He crushes it every single day. I'm telling you, his runs. This is what a big reason why I reached
Trying
out.
to.
Not only is he a grad, you can tell a lot about a person, especially if they come from a military academy. And then two, he's just crushing the game. Like you said, you are who you hang out with. And I'm trying to hang out with this guy and start getting in my runs and things of that nature and get right, man. So I do appreciate you being
For
here
sure.
and taking the time out of your day just to converse with me and chat with me. It's good to catch up with you. We'll have further conversations for sure, especially moving forward
Of course.
and stay in contact, man, for sure.
I'm very appreciative of the opportunity, man. I love being on here to talk about myself in such a important topic. Mental health. Are we still in? Is this Men's Mental Health
It's
Month or was
still,
that
it
last
is,
month?
yeah. It's Pride Month and it's Men's Mental Health Month.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, we still
Then Juneteenth, like
and
brother. This
Juneteenth,
is you know
and
what
the
I'm
birthday's
saying?
tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Come on,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
We're up.
Spot
We're up.
on.
We're up.
Spot
We're
on.
up.
So,
We're up.
uh, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So perfect topic, man. I enjoyed every second of
Yeah,
this.
thank you again, man. I look forward to further conversation. Again, I'll put your kind of programs. I know you do coaching as well, right? So I'll put your
Yeah.
coaching kind of links in there as well as your TikTok page. If you're a man out there that needs help, please reach out. And please reach out to anyone. It takes one step. I think the biggest thing what we talk about in this like podcast is you got to recognize you have an issue first, right? And then you got to release it,
Hmm.
whether it be I think therapy, right, community, fitness, and then you rise. You bring everyone else together because at the end of the day, I think it starts with us as men. Like it starts with us to kind of set that foundation, and set the tone for not only ourselves but the women in our lives, whether it be our mothers,
For sure.
sisters, like our future spouses. But
Oh yeah.
if you look at broken homes and a lot of people that kind of struggle throughout life, is they don't have that masculine like figure there and present. So,
Yeah.
especially in our communities. So, again, I appreciate you. We will chat soon, man. And if you ever need anything, you know where to reach me, man.
Same
All right,
here.
brother.
Same here. If you ever need anything, man, and I hope everything goes well with you traveling back to West Point.
Yeah, take care of yourself, bro.
All right,
Yeah.
man. You too.
All right, we're good. You.